I was just speaking to a friend on the phone. She knows I'm from Georgia. She never even made it close to out there. I think California is the closest she's made it to, you know, the Georgia side of the mainland. And she said I'm a taxi driver, so I've been out for a little while dealing with some stuff. And she was talking to one of the other drivers about me, and they told him like, well, I was having little health problems or whatever. And she said, oh no, oh no, we got to pray for him. And they said, talking the fact that I was from Georgia came up, and then she asked us when I'm recreating the scene in my head. She asked with some trepidation, "Is William a redneck?" And the driver, Ivan, I believe it was from Big Island. I'm on Maui. He said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever really met a redneck. I'm Mexican. Never been to that side of the mainland. Can't really say what one is. I don't know if I'd know one if I saw it. I was just talking to her on the phone here just now, Miss Susan. She goes, well, you're not a redneck, are you? I said, well, what if I was? You know me by now. We've been talking for a good 2 hours on the phone. What if I were to say that the person you've been speaking with and you've known for a few months now as your driver is a redneck? I said, let me tell you what a redneck is. First of all, a redneck is not a backcountry, two-tooth, white trash hick running around barefooted and with overalls and no shirt. He was always wondering if his mama and his sister are the same, if his mama is his sister or whatever. And, nightly makes love, sweet, sweet love to the pigs and the goats. I said, that's a backwoods hick. I said, a redneck is less a defining feature of a person and it's more a way of life. And I said, if I had to sum it up in one word, I would say, of course, there's the Southern drawl, and there's the cut-off T-shirts, there's the trucks, and there's the guns, and there's the drinking, and there's the fighting, and the dogs, and the proper seating position when you have a bench seat in your truck, and you got a dog and a girl. Who sits where, right? Who goes in the clearly the dog goes in the middle, and your girl goes over there. She's your girl, love her to death. But that's my dog. The dog sits in the middle. If you don't like it, my dear, you can hop in the back, or you can just not go with us. And that's just the way everybody's okay with that. That's the way it is. Oh, redneck girl, stop, let the dog in, then she gets in. Yeah, it's the way shit works there. And I said, redneck's a way of life. And I said, if I had to give it one defining characteristic or a couple of defining characteristics, I would say the word loyalty and I would say the word respect. I said, let me give you an example. For example, when you're out and about on the town or whatever, the feed and seed store or the Bass Pro Shop or at the gun store, because you just, never have too many guns, and you bump into a buddy, I said, you don't ask him how he's doing. You can surmise that from everything that's getting ready to follow here. I said, here's how the interaction goes. This is the culture, and this is proper etiquette. You say, hey, what's up, Jimmy? Hey, how's your mama and them? And he'll go, oh, good. Yeah, mama good. Mama's doing good. He'll shake his head. Well, last week after going to hear Preacher Bob, must have got her awful upset. She had a bit of a spell. She just kind of fell flat out there, right in the yard, right in the dirt, fell flat out. And I said, oh yeah, is she doing? Is she okay? Your mama? He goes, oh yeah, mama. Pour 3 fingers of wild turkey in her favorite wild turkey glass. She was back up on her feet and spry as ever. I said, that wild turkey's something else, ain't it? He goes, yeah. And he'll say, how's your mama and them? I go, oh, they're doing good. They're doing good. Mama and daddy, my daddy, they're taking care of each other. But, my daddy Trick Knee been acting up. And Jimmy will say, Oh, yeah, yeah. My daddy got one of them trick knees too. I said, yeah. Whenever my mama come around the corner and say, hey, Paul, can you you want to clean them gutters out, or can you go do this, or can you go do that? My daddy say, he'll start to sit up out of his chair and he go, oh. And he go, oh, it's my knee. It's my trick knee. I don't think so. Not today, dear. Oh, he's tricking me something bad. And Mama give him a look and just hmm, go off. And Jimmy says, yeah, it's the same trick knee my daddy got. Whenever Mama wants him to do something, he'd get up and go, yep. And so I said, well, which knee is your daddy's trick knee? He goes, his left knee. I said, see, my daddy's trick knee is his right knee. Uh-huh, I see. I said, here's the genius of that one. He goes, yeah, let me have it. I says, the left knee's your trick knee. Well, you can still drive places and go get shit. He goes, yeah, that's true. I said, my daddy's trick knee is the right knee. Can't be working no accelerator with no trick knee right knee. Not safe on the road. He needs to stay home in that there chair and do whatever the fuck he feels like doing, especially while that trick knee's acting up. Or at least till Mama get back from the grocery store and whatever else he's doing. He goes, yeah. I always thought my daddy was a little short-sighted about things. You know, he was a little impulsive, make decisions. You know, I said, well, yeah, whatever works for your daddy and your mama, that's great. Apparently, you guys are a left knee trick knee family. We're a right knee trick knee family. You know, so that's just the way it is. He goes, so your old man came and get up and, but see the right knee being a trick knee, he can't get up and kick nobody he can't get kick nobody in the ass. He goes, I said, yeah, see, my daddy's a little short sighted too. Sometimes you get some people coming around knocking on the door trying to sell some stuff. You know what they could use? A foot in the ass. They could use a foot in the ass. But my daddy's, if he's already appealed to that trick knee, the right knee, trick knee, trick knee, someone comes to the door, he's got a problem. When you say, he goes, yeah, I think I'm following you. So you might be thinking, these might be some real riffraff here, some real nardwell types that need a good swift kick in the ass. But I've already told Ma that my trick knee be acting up, and I can't kick worth a shit with my left leg, and it's like if I knew for sure they were really riffraff and nardwells, and I'd get up and give them a good swift kicking. But I also know your mama. She could have very well called some then their people down there at their church, got them to come around acting like they trying to be selling us something. See what I'm going to do. Because if I get up and give them a swift kicking, right, then she's going to say, oh, good to see your trick knee better. How about you go to the store and get me some things? And when you get back, you can do this and that. He goes, you know what? I'm not even going to run the risk. I'm going to sit right here. I've already appealed to my trick knee today. If it's real riffraff and nardy wells at the front door trying to sell something, well, she's just going to have to deal with it. And if it's some sort of scheme of her own devising, well, it serves her right. I'm going to sit right here. Now, of course, if push comes to shove and, I start hearing blood-curdling screams, that's a different story. I could probably overcome the pain in my trick knee to save the love of my life. But till I hear some sort of homicidal vocalizations, I'm sitting right here. Today, my trick knee be acting all up. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Bill? I say, how old do you reckon we got to be before we get ourselves a trick knee? He says, well, I don't think there any point in having a trick knee unless you got a mama. I said, well, I got a mama. He said, no, I mean like old lady mama. Not a mama, but an old lady mama. I said, well, that's a good point too. Besides, if your mama come and ask you to do something, you better get off your goddamn ass and go do it. I said, you're absolutely right. Same for you. He goes, yeah. I ain't got no trick knees. Mama said, you're too young to have any trick knees. Get the fuck up and go cut the grass. I said, all right, Mama. I look at my daddy. He goes, I can't help you. My knee's acting up. Trick knee. He winks at me. And I say to myself, it's the redneck way of life. Wouldn't have it any other way.